All right, let's break down the story of Kilmer Abrego Garcia. He's an illegal alien and maybe MS-13. Trump deported him. Good. One less problem in this country. And let me be clear, I don't have sympathy for gang members. MS-13 is a vicious cartel of murderers and traffickers. If someone is MS-13, I want them gone, fast. So when Trump's administration said Kilmer was part of MS-13, most of us said, great, don't let the door hit him on the way out. But what if I told you that in our rush to cheer this one deportation, we just helped build a legal machine that could disappear anyone, even you, with no charges, no trial, no chance to fight back. Now let me break it down. Kilmer Abrego Garcia came here illegally as a teenager, true. But in 2019, a U.S. immigration judge granted him a rare legal status called withholding of removal. It means this. He was technically deportable, but the government was legally barred from sending him to El Salvador because the judge ruled he was more likely than not to be tortured or killed if he went back. Now, some of you have asked, if he's not MS-13, then why would gangs want to kill him? Fair question. So here's the answer. He and his family were targeted by gangs, not recruited by them. His mom ran a food stand. Gangs tried to extort her, but when she couldn't pay, they threatened to force her oldest son into their ranks. So she sent him to the U.S. to protect him. Then they came for Kilmer. That's how it works in El Salvador, especially with Barrio 18 and MS-13. If you don't cooperate, you're enemy, you're marked. And here's the cruel irony. If you refuse to join a gang, if you escape a gang, or if you're even suspected of talking to authorities about them, you're hunted. So that's why the judge granted him protection, because he was a target. So what happened next? Well, ICE deported him anyway, illegally. They admitted in court they knew he couldn't be sent to El Salvador, and they did it anyway. They said it was an administrative error. But then they said, we're not bringing him back, because now they claim once he's outside U.S. borders, our courts can't touch it. So it gets worse. They didn't just deport him, they sent him to CCOT, which is a maximum security terrorist prison in El Salvador, where reportedly inmates are deprived of food, medical care, even water. And we, the American taxpayer, foot the bill, $6 million a year we send to El Salvador to lock people up there on our behalf. No charges, no trial, no lawyer, just a plane in a cage. So how did they justify it? Okay, so let's talk about the so-called evidence against him. In 2019, Kilmer was arrested in a Home Depot parking lot with 3 other day laborers. One of the men, not an officer, not a witness, just another guy present, told police Kilmer was MS-13. Well, what was the evidence? He said Kilmer was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie. That's it. No photos, no tattoos, no social media, no criminal history, just a guy in a hat and an unverified claim. And even back then, police didn't believe the accusation because Kilmer had never lived in New York where the informant claimed he was a gang member. So they didn't charge him with anything. But the statement was recorded in the immigration bond hearing. And now 5 years later, it was pulled back out and treated as sufficient grounds for deporting him in a counterterrorism operation. That's the standard now. A hat, a rumor, no trial. And when pressed, here's how the White House defended it.
On that note, the Democrat and media outrage over the deportation of Abrego Garcia, an MS-13 El Salvadorian illegal alien criminal who is hiding in Maryland, has been nothing short of despicable. Based on the sensationalism of many of the people in this room, you would think we deported a candidate for Father of the Year. That's because, unfortunately, many in this country care more about this quote-unquote Maryland father, a legal alien MS-13 gang member, than a Maryland mother and an American citizen who was brutally murdered at the hands of a different illegal alien. Of course, I am referring to Rachel Morin. And if you didn't see, yesterday, a Maryland jury found illegal alien Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez guilty of murdering Rachel Morin in August of 2023. She was a 37-year-old mother of 5 who was jogging in an otherwise safe community northeast of Baltimore when this monster ambushed, strangled, and beat her to death before stuffing her brutalized body in a tunnel drain. The Morin family finally got justice yesterday, but they will never get Rachel back.
Okay, what sort of argument is this? This is obviously a very big appeal to emotion. She's talking about one man and uses him, this heinous murderer, as justification for getting rid of another man. And when pressed again about it, this is what she said.
I also want to thank your press office for releasing that information that you cited up there regarding the ICE arrests over the last couple of days. And I have them right here, but What I might ask is, why not release the same information for those who were deported to El Salvador?
Well, first of all, the information was released by the Department of Homeland Security. The individuals on the flights to El Salvador are foreign terrorists, and those are counterterrorism operations. They are much different than the arrests and final order of removals that you see on a day-to-day basis that law enforcement agents are conducting around the country.
That information was not, to that detail, was not released by DHS, though.
I just told you the reason. It was a counterterrorism operation, a deportation of foreign terrorists, not illegal criminals who have been convicted of heinous crimes living in our American communities. It's two different things. Foreign terrorist, illegal immigrant criminal, two different things, two different definitions. You should look them up.
Okay, so there it is, the magic word, terrorism. That word is the government's master key. Once they say terrorist, your rights go out the window. They don't need to charge you. They don't need to prove anything. They don't even need to get a judge's permission. Under Section 219 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, if they can claim you're affiliated with a terrorist group, even based on a hoodie and a confidential informant, they can deport you immediately. That's what happened here. No trial, no conviction, just a label. And once the label sticks, the law disappears. So this is the playbook they built in the war on terror. That same one that gave us Guantanamo, black sites, rendition, and indefinite detention. Only now, they're turning it inward. And it's not stopping with Kilmer. Trump met with the president of El Salvador, and on a hot mic, he was caught saying that it could be homegrowns next.
I'm not sure it's important. I want him to do, for homegrown criminals next. Yeah. I said, homegrowns are next. The homegrowns built. You got to build about 5 more places. Yeah, that's fair. All right. It's not big enough. No.
Oh, yes, let's laugh about this. Homegrowns. We're going to send homegrowns next. Homegrown Americans born here on American soil. That's not a rumor. That's not a distortion. Trump actually confirmed this in an interview with Fox News.
He's made it a very safe place. People go and they feel very secure and safe. He's also built one, but other also prisons, very big ones. And we're using his system because we're getting rid of our criminals from out of the United States that were allowed to come in by Biden. We're getting them out. And the president is helping us with that, President Bukele. So I was very impressed with him, really very impressed. Great guy.
Could we use it for violent criminals, our own violent criminals?
I call them homegrown criminals.
Yes.
I mean, the
homegrowns.
The ones that grew up and something went wrong and they hit people over the head with a baseball bat. We have, and push people into subways just before the train gets there, like you see happening sometimes. We are looking into it and we want to do it. I would love to do that.
Wow, okay, let's be very clear. This administration just created a system that allows the U.S. government to label someone a terrorist, detain them with no due process, deport them outside the reach of American courts, and contract with foreign countries to imprison them in facilities where we don't have to follow any U.S. laws. Today, that's an undocumented immigrant in Maryland. Tomorrow, it's a J6 protester, a pro-life activist, a parent at a school board meeting, or someone who criticized Israel on X. Because once the system is built, it's not dismantled, it's used. You might cheer now, but I promise you this, the Democrats are watching, and they'll use this too. Just like they used the Patriot Act, just like they used FISA, just like they labeled Trump supporters and even parents as domestic extremists. So ask yourself this, if they can make someone disappear on the word terrorist, if they can deport someone with protection status based on a 5-year-old rumor and a Chicago Bulls hat, if they can build prisons in foreign countries with your money, and if the president can say, homegrowns are next, and nobody stops it, then what makes you think you're not next? You don't have to like Kilmer. You don't have to believe he's innocent. You just have to ask, do you want to live in a country where a label can override the law? Because that's what we have now. And if we don't put a stop to it, the next plane out won't be taking gang members. It'll be taking dissidents. And once you're on it, apparently no one's coming to get you back. Thanks for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show, which you can check out Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. The show airs live. It is a 1-hour live show Monday through Friday. Just head to KimIversonShow.com. See you there.